swords. Solution if you want this winter. This is 107 on. some surgery. Nervous that now we can't really afford food. Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to one doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for these.
Donna from Louisiana. The storm just hit, and we went from donating to the food bank to Keisha from South Carolina. I've been skipping meals so much you kids can eat. Water doesn't work. Hunger is a story we can end. And
Truly great leader.
All right, great people of Columbia and our friends that might be listening from all across the interwebs. Gene Garris here, America's radio show, and eventually, I promised that I would do this over the Christmas break, but we're not done yet. I have to get back to work, but that's okay. That's absolutely okay. Goodness, I would give the telephone number, and I will give the telephone number, but we've got two people on deck already. 803-799-8255. That's 799-TALK on the Groucho's Deli in-studio hotline. So you, and especially now, if you call in now, if you can wait for a while, you can't be first, but you can be next after the two people that are already queued up. But yeah, what a wonderful, wonderful feast of the Holy Nativity we had in my family, and I hope the same with you. Saddest news, really, really, really gut check news. My friend Dr. Al-Assad passed away today, and that, I mean, that really is a gut punch. And I went to see him in the hospital, and he was weak, but he was all there. And I'm, these things, when you have an inkling, when you have a thought like, oh, okay, this person's in the hospital, I think I probably need to go back and you need to go see him. You need to see him. That's it. You just need to go. Just go. I mean, that's the deal. If you work for somebody else and say, hey, look, I've got to go visit somebody in the hospital. I'm going to take hopefully, will you let me take a longer lunch and I'll make it up after 5 or whatever. Just do it. Just do it. Just go see whoever you think you should see and know you should see. It's really a gut punch to hear that he passed away. But I thank God. I mean, really, really, truly thank God, and not not just as some sort of service, but thank God that I, for myself, knew I had done the right thing. So anytime you're like, oh gosh, this person's laid up in the hospital, and you hear things, go see him. Just go see him. But yeah, things are wild. Things are wild in our country. Even Caroline Levitt's having another baby, going to have a baby girl while she's in the, and I suspect she'll be doubly, slightly exhausted, and but doubly effective at the podium. But we're going to go ahead and go right to the phone to say, hey, caller, how are you?
Hey, Dr. Gene, it's Nick. How are you?
I'm doing great. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing good. And I hope this is the beginning, the opening of all the great things that you deserve and that our country deserves.
You, sir. First of all, I'm sorry to hear about the loss, man. Sorry to hear about the friend. But it's a gut check for anybody, man.
But he was a rock star. He's a pathologist at the VA for 40 years or 50 years. I mean, absolutely great. And when some things happened in my life, he was hyper qualified to give me advice. And so, and sometimes he would pull his oldest son into the mix, and if he knew that he had a similar experience or something else, and yeah, so it does make a difference. Could not have been a better human being.
So,
Tell you that
glad you
tell you one of the scary things with my father, and this was not the event that he passed away from, but he had he was in the hospital getting tuned up and had gone into cardiac arrest. So I get this call on my phone, and it somehow I missed the call, and so I looked down and I saw that I had a voicemail, and I listened to the voicemail, and the voicemail was, "Your dad's has been moved to the ICU. He was in cardiac arrest. If you want to see him alive, you need to get him." And it's amazing what you can do when you have to do it. But thank God that was not. He lived another, 3 or 4 years, so that was a blessing. But again, you got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah, like you said, man, when it's too late to figure out what really matters, to get another job, you can find another girlfriend, and you can do things that seem important at the moment. But when they're gone, they're gone. And like I'm sure being the person you are, I feel like I'm sure your friend probably had a good relationship with God.
Oh, 100%.
Wish him well, man.
100%. And
Wish him well, man.
and to his daughter, who I'm closest to, of the remaining, I used to say that he is always the best man in the room, in any room he is in. All right, we're going to take a quick break, Nick. Hold on, we'll be right back.
Experience South Carolina's printing powerhouse. Professional Printers is your trusted partner, bringing over 30 years of expertise in print and graphics. From digital printing to web and sheet fed solutions, we handle it all with a team of over 100 dedicated professionals. Locally owned and operated, we have 2 locations in the Midlands and serve our customers with pride, ensuring top-notch service and quality in every project. We do it all, including storage and promotional products. Visit proprinters.com and elevate your printing experience with us.
If you've never had genuine Wagyu or here for steaks and burgers, you don't know what you're missing. Time to order the best of the best from HandJCattle.com. These are local farmers in Saluda where tradition meets quality. The best quality beef and a discount for Point listeners. Enter keyword The Point as one word and get 10% off, plus free delivery in Lexington and Richland County orders of $50 or more. It's cooked in season over at HandJCattle.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-885-3100. 800-885-3100. 800-885-3100.
You're listening to Gene Garris on the radio.
All right, so we're back. Where our friend Nick is joining us. So we're going to drop this out. Thanks for holding on there, Nick.
Yeah, I appreciate the time, Dr. Gene. I'm not going to hold you up, but like I said, I'm glad you had a good Christmas. I missed you last week. I went to it or whatever, but glad to be
I'm trying. I'm trying. If they say, hey, you want to do afternoon drive? I'll do the afternoon drive. You say, hey, you want to do this? If I can do it, I'll do it. Because I love talking to you and the whole cadre of wonderful people that are part of the station as producers and consumers. And then if you're like me, a producer who also is a consumer.
We appreciate it. Lee? Oh.
So Nick, what should we do? What should we do, Nick? What should we do? We should stop the killing.
Yeah, we should. I'm no politician, so I'm not going to get involved in the details, but I'm just saying I hope they can come to an amicable agreement. They just agree to disagree or whatever it takes.
100%. Well, thanks so much, Nick, and look for you on the flip side. And if you need to, if the spirit moves you to call in the second hour, we just one call an hour. I would love to hear from you again. And of course, anytime, and every time I'm on the radio, feel free to call. And we're going to jump right to our second caller. But I want to tell everybody, telephone number here is 803-799 8255. That works out to be 799 talk on the Groucho's Deli in studio hotline. And we go and we say the magic words with the cough. Hey, caller, how are you?
Hey, Dr. Gene. Happy Sunday. How are you doing?
Great. It's I'll tell you what. So one, we have 4 children, and my youngest, what he wanted and what one of the things that he got was he got a 3D printer. and
Oh, nice.
it's awesome. It's so awesome. And for the people on the stream, I'm gonna hold on. So amuse yourself for a second, David. Feel free to talk in a good way without violating the laws. And I'm gonna step away. Show this to all our friends on the interwebs. So this is a 3D printed thing that it's almost like it looks like it's one of those Funko Pop things, and it's a Darth Vader Funko Pop looking thing. One of many great things that have already come off the 3D printer. So if you're like, well, I don't know if I don't really understand. Get it. It's worth it. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And I'm just observing. I'm not even, I'm not actively playing. I am looking over and we are like, wow, that's really cool. I wish it was faster.
Yeah. That's actually one of the things I did consider getting for my daughters, but to get a decent one, it wasn't pretty, it was a little pricey. You could get some cheaper ones, but I thought, nah, for that price, this is really going to do what I wanted to do, and I kind of throwing money away, just rather than waiting to buy a legit one and maybe a little further down the road. So maybe I'll use some of this extra Trump money I'm getting with the tax time. I can use it for that. So.
Right? Yeah. That would. Well, how about this? I think there might be an educator in your family. So I wonder from one of these tech people if maybe possibly there could be some sort of teaching discount.
Oh, it could be. I mean, you never know. I mean, like I said, my mother, she's getting a $6,000 tax credit the next 4 years, and I actually finally told her that the other day, and I didn't get too much into the weeds because she's like, "Why?" And I was like,
"Because somebody else voted for the right people."
Don't say because of Trump, because I just knew it started an argument. But yeah, when she writes a smaller check, or maybe actually gets money back this year, that's the point where I'm going to say, you know what? Something's different this year than it was last year, Mom. I'm trying to think
what could possibly have changed?
Gene, it's like the gas price I showed you. There's a station right now in Colorado that's actually a cent cheaper now, $1.67.
Oh wow!
It did.
Wow!
It did not have to be like it was for 4 years. It didn't have to be that bad, people. Like I said,
no, it was artificial. They made a decision to squeeze, just like President Barack Obama put a squeeze on coal and said, we're doing away with coal in the United States. We are, hydrogeology, you understand all this stuff. We have 10,000 years of coal in the United States. The one thing that if there's a mountain there, there's probably a bunch of coal there. One thing that we have more than anything else is the one thing we're not allowed to bring online.
And the thing is, Gene, like I said before, the gas wasn't better the last 4 years. It's the same gas.
Right.
But the thing is, if you look at what you spent the last 4 years, what you could have been spending, there's a gap there between what you were paying and what you could have been paying. And all those dollars are dollars that could be in your pocket doing other things. It didn't have to be as bad as it was.
Oh,
like you said about other things. All we needed was a new president.
Right. And it's multiplicative. So it's not just that gas was inflated, but diesel was inflated in everything you buy. So farm to table. Well, the way that works is the farmers take the stuff, they put it on a truck, and the truck takes it to a distributorship, and then the distributor puts it on another truck and delivers it to your grocery store. Or big stuff comes by train. And what do trains in America run on? Diesel, right?
Solar, right?
Right, they're solar trains. They only ride at night. You never can tell what's going on. But yeah, so the reason this is artificially the cost of gasoline for regular folks, and the cost of diesel for the cool kids in their passenger cars, and then the cost of diesel for trains and big trucks. It's all taking money out of your pocket, and it didn't have to. It was a choice made by some unnamed bureaucrat who was running the signature machine.
Yep. I mean, like I said, it didn't have to be as bad as it was, but I'm enjoying it. And you know that liberals out there are like, when they look at the gas signs, they're going, wow, this is nice. And, they don't want to give credit, but they sure are enjoying it, I'm sure. And they'll enjoy the $6,000 if they're 65 and above. They'll take that credit. They're not going to say, no, I can't do that. I can't. I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna virtue signal not $6,000 tax credit.
Well, what we should do, what we should do is we ought to give them an opt-out box, or we could give them an opt-in box. Would you like President Trump's $6,000 tax rebate? Yes or no? Try to be intellectually consistent.
Yeah, and if they opt out, they can use that money for for the things they think should be free, like free college education and free this, free that. They can give that money to those things because they don't want to be part of this thing. We use it for those things because, like I always said, we had callers on the show call and say, college ought to be free. And I would always say, find a college student, write them a check. I promise you they'll accept it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You'll have a 0% turn down rate. You will get trying to write them a check.
Right.
So what? Lead the way and say, I'm going to show you college ought to be free. I'm chipping into it.
Yeah. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. That's a test they all fail.
We ought to have open borders. I'm going to house a couple, And I love when they do the people on the street things and they walk around with a guy and say, well, Pablo here, he's illegal. And so he's going to come stay at your house, right? Well, no, not my house. Someone else's house. Can't stay at mine, they never want to actually walk the walk.
Well, yeah, as long as it's everybody else getting shafted for it, they're cool about it. But it's all truly crazy. And what about the billions and billions of dollars that have been sucked out of our economy by the Somalian criminals? Not Somalis, but the Somalian criminals.
Would be my segue. With all the money you're saving on gas, you can afford to send your children to the best Somali daycare
that has no students. They'd appreciate it.
It's the Leary Center,
the kids spell learning. That's right. Yeah, so jump out there on the Twitterverse Elon Musk X thing, and I'm trying to think of the guy's name. It's like Shirley. Last name is like Shirley or something like that. But it's Elon.
I think when they made the video.
Yeah, and he's like a 22-year-old guy, and he goes. Another guy is with him, an older guy who has all the printouts for all the monies received by these alleged, and it's a real, that alleged is very, very kind, daycare centers and autism centers and stuff. And so the old guy, he's the guy that's got the receipts from the state government who receives these federal grants and administers these federal grants poorly. And they're like, the guy has the license. If you're a child care facility, you have to have a license, and you have to have a number of people, just like hospitals in South Carolina are licensed similarly. And they they're approved for 75 kids, and last year they got $1.5 million. There are no kids here. Hey, knock. No, I'm serious. They're knocking on the door. Hey, is there anybody in there? I'd like to get my kid enrolled in some school program. And they don't exist.
Here, folks. We're alone.
It's all phantoms. They call the police, and the police escort them out of a building. So it'll be one of these brownfield buildings, just it's a block on the first, on the ground floor, and then steel or stucco for the rest of the thing. And they're going down a hallway, and there's 15 of these organizations that are all stealing money. Hold on, David. We're going to take a quick break and be right back. I'm Gene Garris, America's radio show after Christmas show. We'll be back in just a moment.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107, the point.
SRN News, I'm Mary Rose. President Trump says Ukraine and Russia are closer than ever before to a peace deal, but he acknowledges that negotiations could still break down and leave the war dragging on for years. President Trump spoke Sunday as he hosted Ukrainian President Zelensky at his Florida resort. Earlier, the president had what he described as an excellent 2.5-hour phone conversation with Russian President Putin. The president insisted he believed Putin still wants peace, even as Russia launched another round of attacks on Ukraine while Zelensky flew to the United States. Officials say 2 helicopters have crashed midair in southern New Jersey on Sunday, killing 1 person and leaving another critically injured. Hamilton Police Chief Kevin Friel said rescuers responded to a report of an aviation crash at 11:25 this morning. This is SRN News.
You can count on hot summers in the Midlands.
You can count on those South Carolina roads biting.
And when you end up with a broken windshield, you can certainly count on Absolute Glass.
With one phone call, we can repair, replace, and recalibrate your car's windshield.
We'll handle the insurance calls, and for most folks, it won't cost you a dime to let us fix your windshield.
Absolute Glass has been voted Lexington's best for 15 years straight.
So call Absolute Glass at 951-7200.
Or find us online at absoluteglassinc.com.
And
remember, if you can see through it, we can do it.
Hey, it's Jay with the Cigar Militia. Charles Spurgeon once said, "I intend to smoke a good cigar to the glory of God before I go to bed tonight." Needless to say, we didn't intend for Charles to be a great spokesman for our favorite pastime of glorifying God while smoking a cigar, but thank you, Pastor Spurgeon. At the Cigar Militia, we used to call our regulars our customers. Now we call them our friends. That's the cigar culture. If you know, you know. The Cigar Militia, 1410 Colonial Life Boulevard.
We're talking with our friend David, Professor de los Ciencias. Let's bring him back up.
Well,
but yeah, here, how about this? This is another thing that happened on today. Department of Education ends $1 billion in student aid fraud and promises more action. So if we can get the Somali fraud under control, if we could get the healthcare fraud under control, if we can get the all the things that our Democrat friends are involved in, if we can get all this stuff under control, man, we can pay off this debt.
well, moving on from Minnesota fans to another in-state, Massachusetts fans. Did you see this story, Gene? They actually have a mayor, and I wish I could remember.
Yeah, had to have an interpreter at a press conference. What? Who? And it's not like Massachusetts is Mississippi. You know, Massachusetts, one of the original colonies, one of the big cities, really fountainhead of American political thought. Sitting at a public house drinking rum, and we can do better. We can do better.
I mean, it almost seems like a Saturday Night Live. They're watching that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, that is crazy. And we've got another problem. Gosh, where is it? North Carolina's got somebody running as a Republican in a hijab and has never voted as a Republican ever. So there's some shenanigans going on there. It's going to be a slam dunk for the Democrats or whatever this person is, this sort of pig in a poke. That person will get elected to the Senate. So it's just wild. I mean, it's just wild that it's like they've never, these people on the other side have never had the conversation. There's no way they're going to believe this. There's no way they're going to tolerate that. Yeah, we'll tolerate it because we're dumb. We're not smart.
If the Big Beautiful Bill had money for states to get voice. And so the big argument here, people, especially locally, when they're all mad about it, oh, that's the only way money in public schools everything. Money wouldn't be that. Money extra on top of that.
Right.
You know, it's not free money. It's free money. I've heard it.
It's absolutely crazy. And so from some of our educrat friends, they always say, oh, well, it's like the world is a zero-sum game. And if somebody gets a scholarship, somehow that is punishing everybody else. No, the money should be tied to the kid. And if you like, and I mean across districts, across counties, state to state, if you've got a kid and because of your job you had to move, well, that money should go with the kid. It was already allocated for the kid. And if your kid has some problems, death threats, things like that, and the parents say, gosh, they have offered us not enough for us to feel secure sending our kid here, so we're going to send them to a small private school. Again, that money should travel with the kid. So what's more important, solving the problem or keeping the educratocracy in power in our state?
But apparently Colorado's governor will take the money. But I look at people and because of politics won't take the money. How could you not want better for your kids? That's all I can say is how you want to break the cycle of poverty? Education does it. That's a child that has a 1 in 6 chance of being able just to beat the minimum of reading proficiency at grade level. That's not breaking the cycle of poverty.
No, because
that party doesn't care about that.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's crazy.
They don't care. I've heard a person call and repeat what I talked about the other day. The thing where Trump now is not going to be allowed to send help to Chicago. There are people that are in this city, this state, that have no fear of walking down the street, who will sit there and tell that mom, 2,000 miles away, how far Chicago is, say, I don't care that your child may get shot this weekend. I don't care that you can't even just sit on your front porch and feel safe. This is wrong. I don't like.
No, asleep in your own bed. That a lot of these drive-by killings, it's a kid that gets murdered while they're asleep in their own bedroom.
Right. So their parents, I've seen videos. There's people in that city that say, we want this. We want this. But you have liberals here saying, no, y'all should have that. You shouldn't. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Be a victim. Be a prisoner in your own home. Be a victim.
Right. Because they'll always vote for the bad guys for the rest of their lives. Because, the other guys, those people are racist. Those people that are giving you the hand up, those people hate you. No, it's the other people. It's the other crabs in the bucket that keep on pulling your family and your life down as you try to get out of the poverty and dysfunction and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, what's the girl that runs the multimillionaire, made for multimillionaire organization, Black Lives Matter?
Oh, yeah, they bought houses. No money went to anybody to help them.
What a grip that was. Huh?
Yeah, and where are the prosecutions? Where are the prosecutions?
What a grip.
100%.
Yeah, if they matter. If they matter, why don't you help these people? You got millions of people who are victims because they might not get killed this weekend, but they can't walk out their home and feel safe. They're a victim.
Well, again, in the aftermath of the Rodney King riots, after Rodney King's policemen were acquitted. I'm trying to think where that was. It was not in. It was in the Los Angeles area, but it was in Mount Carmel or something. It was in some other town. They had to remove it from the thing. Well, when they got acquitted, there were lots of riots and things. And Rodney King, unfortunately, he was a long time criminal, and I always think that God spoke to his heart, and he was publicly, in a brief interview, and he said, "We need to all just get along." And so even somebody that had been associated with crime all of his life and all these other things, he knew it was out of control. So Governor Pete Wilson, Republican, calls George H.W. Bush up and says, "It's spinning out of control. We can't handle it. We need your help."
Right.
And George H.W. Bush said, "We'll send you all we got, and we'll do anything we can." And they did it.
Yeah.
And so in the Compton or Watts or one of these places that had suffered in the 60s with riots and stuff, and basically they put a bunch of National Guardsmen and a Humvee at every other intersection. And I can still remember.
Like I always say.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, this is the skewering point. I can still remember watching the Idiot Box, and they were interviewing this woman who had lived in Compton or Watts or whatever economically depressed thing. And she says, "Well, it looks like the soldiers are pulling out. What do you think?" And she said something like, "This is the safest I've been in my whole life.
Yeah.
Why can't they stay?"
Yeah. Exactly. Like I said, I mean, when one party is hearing your vote, no matter what you
Well, listen for just a little bit longer. So this is a crazy thing. So and we're going to get the next caller on deck, and he or she is on deck right now, and I'll finish and go directly to the caller. But ages ago, as a way to explain this and solve this, I said, I believe in what I now call the Janet Jackson principle. And callers, were like, well, what the heck is that? And the Janet Jackson principle, as I've created, says, what have you done for me lately? What have you done for me? And I can't do the voice correctly. Lately. And I wanted traditionally disenfranchised folks to put their vote for sale. Tell me what you're going to do that's going to help me. Tell me what you're going to do to make my community safer. Tell me what you're going to do to increase opportunity in my community. Tell me what you're going to do. Oh yeah, sure. JFK, love him. Lyndon B. Johnson, don't love him so much. Did things for traditionally disenfranchised minority folks in the United States. And then nothing. Zero. Since the middle 70s. And so that's a thing for me. And we're going to go right to the phones and say, hey, caller, how are you?
Good evening. Am I talking to you or not?
You are actually talking to not just me, but all the crazy folks. It looks like we got a thing reported that our www.makethepointradio .com signal is doing national programming, but that's just a programming thing, and we can ride it out.
Great.
All right, I hate to do this, Gino, but I got to put you on hold for just a little bit longer. Hard break right here. Hold on, we'll be right back.
You've got the power to take control of how your energy works for you, the power to use less energy without giving up comfort. Dominion Energy has tools, tips, and programs to help you save your way. Get started at dominionenergy.com/savings.
Hey, it's Jay with the Cigar Militia. When I stop by a cigar store, I always look for my go-to cigars and stock up a few of those, but I also look for something I've never tried before. Well, at the Cigar Militia, we specialize in a lot of small boutique cigar manufacturers. Come in and try a Don Kiki by Karen Berger or a Makaji by Ty Williams. We are the Cigar Militia at 1410 Colonial Life Boulevard. Help us out, stock up, and review some of our boutique brands.
Hi, this is Chris Neely, Superintendent of the South Carolina Public Charter School District. I hope you'll join Kevin and me each Tuesday afternoon. We'll bring your kids first when we talk about educational issues and what we're doing to teach kids the right way. It's Kids First, Tuesday at 5:30 right here on 100.7 The Point.
Lots of plumbing companies out there. Few are truly local. Time to discover the difference with Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning. See, when I faced plumbing woes at the Cohen home, Josh and his dedicated team, well, they were my go-to solution. They make a commitment to exceptional service. They arrived on time, clearly detailed all the costs and procedures, and efficiently handled all my repairs without any surprises. These days, how often do we complain about a lack of customer service out there? With Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning, these folks are professional. They're courteous. They're skilled at what they do, and they've earned my trust, and they've earned my recommendation to you. From urgent repairs to the tankless water heater you've always wanted, they've got you covered. Visit franklinplumbing.sc.com or call 799-2222. That's 799-2222. Hey, you tell them Kev sent you from The Point. Pretty sure you'll want to thank me later.
Just going to do this till we hit the hook, but it's coming. And his octopus's garden in the shade. Gino, thanks for holding on there, Gino.
Oh yeah, I was listening to the luckiest drummer ever.
That's right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This part. This is the hook right here. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, and his, I think his real name is Richard Starring, and so Richard Starkey,
I think.
Starkey. Okay.
By the way, I did not mention anything. You just said the drum player.
Yeah, he can sing. He can sing, and he married Catherine Bach's sister, or Barbara Bach's sister. Nope, it's the other way around. Catherine Bach's sister, Barbara Bach.
Did they look alike?
Oh, he got the GT model, and Barbara was the GT model, and Catherine was the LX model.
GT, that's Gran Turismo. Last week when I called, I just came back a few minutes ago, so I don't know. I haven't listened to the show yet, besides the last phone call for a few minutes. Last week I mentioned to you about the beeline from Somalia to Minnesota. And now, after I had finished, I heard, the only thing I heard is that Mr. Tim who, by the way, doesn't know what he's talking about at least half the time, he said that fell into a trap. That's all I heard because then I had to in a place where I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mr. Tim, you want to talk about trap? Have you heard the news today on not just Fox and New York Post, but local KOMO television and radio in Minnesota? There was a school for Somali children, which got $4 million of our taxpayers' money to be run.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the sign on that school says learning, no learning.
Yeah, they spelled it's a learning. It's a learning center. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. There's a 22-year-old guy that exposed it all. 22-year-olds.
There were no children, no sign of anything. It's just taxpayer money going to this Somali bar line. Number two, the Somalis or Somalians in Minnesota are the largest group, the largest concentrated group of any ethnic group in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
There are almost 300,000 within a small area. And that's why last week I said it's the byline from Somalia to Minnesota, we get freebies. That's why over 80% of them are on welfare and Medicaid and all that crap for which we pay. So, Mr. Tim, or whatever your name is.
Our friend Tim, he's our friend Tim. He's our friend Tim.
I don't care. He's your friend.
No, he's your friend too. He's your friend too.
No, I have no friends here. There's no, just people who.
Oh, now you're hurting me. You're hurting me, Gino.
Well, I'm talking about callers. I mean, people just, for whatever reason, that they in their social life, they're such a chronic callers. They're calling just about every day. But at least when you call, make a point and know what you're talking about. Just because you want to call with Number two, the future mayor of New York, which I hope won't last long.
Oh goodness! Oh my goodness!
Let me put it this way: he hired a young woman. She was so racist, anti-Semitic, or whatever that she got caught with formal speeches and writings that were so bad that this guy was never hired anybody in any position in his life. Had to get rid of her, but he hired I'm going to say in quotes, a woman in charge of the
fire service. Fire service. It has no connection with the fire service ever.
Let me finish. The only thing that this woman needs to be a man is a little mustache, and she has nothing feminine about it in any photo or how she talks. So is this the way that the Democrats is leaning with Ocasio and Kamala, who still have to pay $20 million of a $1 billion waste of money, and now they're giving together. Oh, that she wants to go with Ocasio, but she's going to be the president. Ocasio the vice president. This is so nonsense. I mean, do you know, you Democrats, how far left you're going?
Well, yeah, but that is also the death rattle of a failing party. Where are the moderate Republican or Democrats? Where are the pro-life Democrats? How about this? Ready for this? Ready for this, Gino? I'm going to throw a thing into the mix. Puerto Rico has now established that life begins at conception and has attached personhood to the baby. So they're like, we're going to make Puerto Rico a state, and that's going to give us 2 senators and a handful of representatives. If that's what Puerto Rico is doing, I'm for it. Let's make Puerto Rico a state. Let's get 2 pro-life senators and 4 representatives. Let's go ahead and do it. You've been threatening us forever. We know Spanish people, and they're all Catholic folks in Puerto Rico. They're our kind of people, but they don't want to give up no federal income tax.
Of course, let me tell you, Puerto Rico's always been a welfare state, a welfare quote-unquote state. It's always been sucking normal American taxpayers' money, both black, white, or nobody taxes with their. And but I want to go back for a minute. Remember to Kamala Harris, the vice president choice was
Tampon Tim Walz.
Wasting money into the billions.
Billions.
In the Minnesota
Billions.
Foolish ideas.
And some of this,
Democrats,
Gino, some of this money has been funneled to that terrorist group, Boko Haram. So now American taxpayers, through our Somali friends, are supporting terrorists in a foreign country. This is ridiculous.
let me talk with this. I tried to find an article on CNBC, NBC, and even CNN about the school with no children wasting $4 million. Not a trace.
Not a word.
Why is it that people hide when something they don't like it? They hide. It's not even part of the news, or even about not even a sentence or a short paragraph. Yeah, nothing. How can you ignore when there's a school with misspelling signs and no kids inside, and they're wasting millions and millions of dollars?
Oh, it's worse than that. So it's not just schools.
What happened to one of our best president, one of our best former presidents? I gotta say it. He was a horny guy, but still, Clinton. He was in the middle. He wasn't leftist. If they find somebody like Clinton or close to that side of politics, they'd be better off. But going so much to the left, are you really going to tell me that the Generation Z is going to go along with it?
Well, let's try to help our Democrat friends. Of all the people we know in national politics, who's the reasonable Democrat? Who is it?
No one. Oh,
so that might be the problem.
And who was the leading candidate? The guy from California, Mr. Swift. And right behind, in front of him is Kamala Harris with 16%, 16%. He's got single digit, and then Ocasio single digit, and then I don't know who's there. Oh, the rich guy from Illinois, the rich
Pritzker.
I mean, are these
Governor Pritzker
main horses to run for president?
Well, again, that's why I'm hinting that this is the last gasp of a dying party. If the real folks, the people that make good decisions, if they can't find somebody to run, that means the smart ones. It's just like when Lloyd Benson left the Clinton administration. I was talking to my dad about it, and I go, "So what's up with this Lloyd Benson guy leaving the Clinton's administration?" And my dad said, "Well, he's the oldest, smartest rat, and he can tell the ship is going down, and he's leaving when he's close enough to shore to make it to the island." Not the Jeffrey Epstein island. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question off this topic?
Yeah.
I mean, without taking insights, because I don't know much about it. This thing about windmills, when Obama came out and said billions dollars to the windmills, are you going to tell me that windmills really produce energy?
No, it does produce energy. They absolutely does produce energy, but not enough. Not enough to offset the cost. All right, hold on, Gino. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll let you finish at the top of the next hour. We're going to hear from Mariah Carey one more time.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treatment. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-885-3100. 800-885-3100. 800-885-3100. WQXL Columbia W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Mary Rose. President Trump says he believes both Ukrainian President Zelensky and Russian President Putin want to end their war. President Trump is hosting Zelensky at Mar-a-Lago as part of efforts to broker an agreement that could bring an end to nearly years of fighting between Ukraine and Russia. President Trump says he believes a deal to end the war in Ukraine is near.
I really believe we're probably, Mr. President, by far closer than ever before with both parties. We had sometimes when he was close and President Putin wasn't. Then when President Putin was close and he wasn't, you saw that in the White House. But I think they both want to see it happen.
National Weather Service meteorologist Bob Oravec says a sharp change in temperature is being brought on by the colder air coming in.
There are going to be some really big temperature changes over the next several days. The high temperature today across Dallas is forecast to be in the lower 80s. But tomorrow, by Monday, the temperatures are in the middle 40s. It's something similar also across like Little Rock. Temperatures today 72 on Sunday and then 35 for a high on Monday. That typically, the Blue Northern typically describes the very cold air that's southward across the middle part.
The two biggest credit card companies are reporting 4% growth in U.S. holiday retail sales.
Visa and MasterCard released the figures, showing that consumers largely shrugged off their economic worries. According to the data, shoppers were more deliberate with their purchases by shopping early and leaning on promotions to get the best deals. Sales of electronics like TVs and smartphones led spending in Visa transactions, while MasterCard said its card users focused on clothing and jewelry. Greg Clugston, Washington.
California has dropped a lawsuit officials filed against the Trump administration over the federal government's withdrawing of the rail. More on these stories at Town Hall.
Whether you're preparing for exams, juggling family and career, or just looking to stay sharp as you age, Think Factor is here to help. Created by the same company that makes Relief Factor, Think Factor supports sharper focus, stronger recall, and clearer thinking. It's the natural way to give your brain the daily nutrients it needs for memory, attention, and even vibrant vision. Call 800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF, or visit relieffactor.com to learn more. Look, I was a little bit skeptical. I started taking Think Factor. After a few weeks, wow, my memory, my focus, my concentration, better than ever. And Think Factor results get better the longer it's taken. If you want to stay focused during demanding tasks, keep your memory strong, maintain mental energy for whatever's ahead, well, Think Factor is for you. Call 800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF, or visit relieffactor.com to learn more and order Think Factor. Your first bottle is just $19.95. Think Factor. Think clearer, perform better daily. Call 800-4-RELIEF or visit relieffactor.com for Think Factor.
Don't look now, but the times are changing and part of America is dying.
Ask the average teenager today if he or she reads the daily newspaper. You're likely to get a deer in the headlight look. The rapid disappearance of the newspaper is altering our daily lives. It is joining the payphone, cassette tape, answering machine, bank checks that many Americans grew up with. Now, iPhones are okay, but let's see how far that fancy phone goes for you when you're trying to line your parakeet cage or when you're trying to housebreak your puppy. And good luck using that iPhone to swat that pesky fly in your kitchen. Jason Walker reporting.
Officials say 2 helicopters have crashed midair in southern New Jersey today, killing 1 person and leaving another critically injured. Hamilton Police Chief Kevin Frill says the FAA and NTSB are investigating. Breaking news at townhall.com. Giant Lazy Susans are bringing people together at a cherished Mississippi restaurant.
Lazy Susan, that round spinning tray that can offer up food, is making one Mississippi restaurant a big hit when it comes to dining with strangers. The Dinner Bell in Macomb only has 4 round tables seating 15 each, with giant Lazy Susans spinning in the middle, offering up Southern comfort food. Owner Andre Davis.
People who discovered they were related didn't know it, but discovered they were neighbors and didn't know it.
Just ask repeat customer Wayne Dyson.
One of the best parts about coming to eat here is you get to meet new family every time you come up.
The restaurant's been around since 1915 and it's known for its fried eggplant. I'm Julie Walker.
After the crystal ball drops on New Year's Eve in New York City, it will rise again, sparkling in red, white, and blue. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me. Your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
One
A truly great leader.
All right, so we're going to retire the Mariah Carey thing until next November of 2026. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on, you think? But yeah, it's that's just a little thing I threw together and had used it maybe a little bit too much, but I thought it was funny. Telephone number here is 803-799-8255. Uh-oh. Got to see if the machine, if my arc light reactor is goofing up, and it is. So we're gonna fix that at the next break. We'll fix that. But again, the telephone number is 803-799-8255, 799 talk. So way back when in the 30s and 40s and before that, at the turn of the year, we had machine politics. So Chicago is still locked in machine politics. You can think about the New York Knicks and machine politics. You can think about all these scandals, and machine politics is how it works in big cities. And now, with the influx of really, and this is a thing that bothers me. So the Somali refugees, and remember, Ilhan Omar her family was in the ruling class of Somalia. She's basically a princess. So the Lutheran Church, and this is the part that bothers me. Two things that bother me. Lutheran Church, a great church, lots of good people there, and especially in the great state of Pennsylvania. But Lutheran Church in Minnesota, and if you've ever listened to, what's his name, the Prairie Home Companion guy, Mr. Garrison. If you listen, all right, children, Mr. Garrison. No, when you realize that it was Lutheran Charities that brought the Somalis. Again, got the Instagram died for a second. Brought the Somalis to Minnesota. They also brought the Somalis to Lewiston. Oh, that's funny. The Lewiston, Maine, same thing. So I was in Maine a couple, in September, and we'll be going back again for a longer time. But all the Uber drivers and things, and I use Uber a lot on a business trip. They were all from Somalia. So there are folks that just like the panoply of whatever you are, whatever I'm a mutt dog. Wherever you come from, they're great people, and then they're stinkers. Well, these stinkers that have gotten political power in Minnesota and are stealing federal money that's given to Minnesota as grants for child care and autism treatment. So it's more than just education. It is medicine too. And it's all a grift. It is a criminal misappropriation. And it's easy. I mean, I'm trying to remember the guy's name. His last name, I think, is Shirley. He's a 22-year-old guy who just opened it up in Minnesota of all the crime by going to the places. These places have physical addresses, and they go back and say, hey, I'd like to get my son, little Joey, and there's no kids there. It's a scam. It's a cutout. It's a fraud. And in one of the places, he was out with one of his buddies. They had the police remove them. And it's almost like there's the police did not have any intellectual curiosity. And the secondary person, the older man, he had all the grants received by these groups, millions of dollars. No kidding, millions of dollars per entity. And they're like, hey, look here, these people got all this money. There's nothing here. There's nobody here. It's a phantom. It's a scam. And we can do better. We can do better. And of course, just like everything else, there are great people in every strata of civilization. And then there's some stinkers. The crimigrants, the criminal aliens, the criminal refugees, those people might need to go away, and maybe they'll go enrich their friends and family in Somalia. Maybe they're experiencing a corruption deficit in Somalia. Maybe they need some help with restoring their level of corruption. And it is really heartbreaking because every dollar that the federal government appropriates, it's a big deal, right? That's why the House Ways and Means and Senate Finance Committees are the big ones, the Gucci Gulch of Washington, D.C., that decide tax policy and spending stuff. These things all made it through the slings and arrows of the process. And then once it got to the government in Minnesota, then they just doled out the money to all these criminals. And it's hard for me to believe. And then again, I wear a bunch of hats. And one of the hats I wear is I'm a regulator of an industry in South Carolina. And all these places are licensed. They have people like me that have a badge that can go in and inspect these places, but nobody ever seems to do it. It is bizarre. I mean, it is bizarre, crazy, insane, wrong. That's what it is for all these folks to steal the money of the American taxpayer. They take it from you at the point of a gun and then give it to these people who are maybe funding terrorists back in Somalia or propping up the government of Somalia, all that stuff. All right, telephone number here is 803-799-8255-799-TALK on the Groucho's Deli In-Studio
Hey, it's Jay
Hotline.
with the Cigar Militia. Charles Spurgeon once said, I intend to smoke a good cigar to the glory of God before I go to bed tonight. Needless to say, we didn't intend for Charles to be a great spokesman for our favorite pastime of glorifying God while smoking a cigar, but thank you, Pastor Spurgeon. At the Cigar Militia, we used to call our regulars our customers. Now we call them our friends. That's the cigar culture. If you know, you know. The Cigar Militia, 1410 Colonial Life Boulevard.
Are you tired of that sinking feeling when the electric bill arrives? Does the phrase peak hours trigger anxiety and a headache? Do you suffer from chronic fatigue of watching your hard-earned money evaporate right into the power grid? You may be suffering from utility pain and anxiety disorder, or UPAD. Symptoms include sweating when running the AC, a fear of turning on lights, and a general feeling of powerlessness over your energy costs.
It's time for you to try Solaris from Ken at Broker Solar. Broker Solar isn't a temporary fix, but a lasting solution with cutting-edge solar technology designed to address high energy bills at their source. Many clients have experienced immediate relief from high monthly payments with reports of increased home value and greater financial freedom. Imagine a brighter future for your home and your wallet. Side effects include the freedom to use your appliances when you want and a powerful sense of energy independence. Broker Solar. A brighter outlook for your home and wallet. Call us now, 803-807-7417. That's 807-7417 or online at brokersolar.com.
Hi, it's Mary Catherine
and Thomas from Louisiana Purchase, inviting you to start your day sweet with beignets and coffee from 9 to 11.
Treat yourself to lunch at Louisiana Purchase and find one-of-a-kind gifts you won't see anywhere else.
Stop by Cypress Market for gourmet meats, cheeses, fine wines, and ready-to-go items.
Give your weddings, graduations, holidays, and office parties Southern flair with our catering and custom charcuterie.
Visit Louisiana Purchase, your taste of the South, all in one stop.
LouisianaPurchase.com.
They lied to you about masks. They lied to you about surfaces. They lied to you about the Wuhan lab. They lied to you about the wet market. They lied to you about restaurants. They lied to you about bars. They lied to you about small businesses. They lied to you about the risks. They lied to you about kids in schools. They lied to you about hydrochloroquine. They lied to you about EY ivermectin. They lied to you about vitamin D. They lied to you about zinc. They lied to you about therapeutics. They lied to you about the very definition of a vaccine. They lied to you about side effects. They lied to you about safety testing. They lied to you about FDA approval. They lied to you about the American taxpayer funding the development of the virus. They screamed, trust the science, as they were denying it. They screamed, do your part as they stole your liberty. They screamed, this is the only way as they stripped your rights away. Never, never, never trust them about anything of consequence again. Never.
All right, and think about that. We just made it through. We just made it through Christmas and the Feast of the Holy Nativity. This is I grew up as an evangelical, and I was so misinformed by my lack of intellectual curiosity. I thought Christmas was it. No. The Christmas is important, but there's this other thing that happens in the spring that is the key. That is how you receive the golden ticket. That is the crux of the matter. That the big thing. Without the candy and toys and all those other things. That's where you get to live forever. But yeah, so you spent time hopefully with your family. You spent time hopefully with people that you love and care. You spent time with people that some of them that you were just obligated to have stuff with, right? But they try to steal that away from you. The COVIDiots tried to steal that away from you. They lied. They made it up. 6 feet. Even little Tony Fauci. That was rectally enhanced public health policy because it came out of his butt, basically. And he acknowledged that there was no science, no science that said that children should be masked. It didn't exist. So they just lied and lied and lied. And, I don't know if you've seen the turbo cancer, but it feels like there are a lot more folks that are suffering than should be. Some of that could have been an interruption of care. Oh, I know you need this chemotherapy infusion, but we can't have you in the office because of COVID protocols. So I don't get my chemotherapy and the cancer can adapt to it and I can, oh yeah, that's it. But we're all pulling together. We all got, yeah. So just remember that, not so long ago, they stole your business or many businesses. They took the lives of some of your friends and family. Great complications. More kids drop dead on the soccer field than have ever had that thing happen in 10 years of cardiac events. And it was just over and over and over and over and over. They used. Now here's the thing. This is the only reason in my life I have any little bit of power, and that's because I don't want it. I don't want to be your boss. I don't want to be in charge of you. I don't want to tell you what to do. I don't want to compel you to do something that's outside of the service of your family. I don't want any of those things. I want you to do your own thing. Now, if I say, hey, it'd be better if people did this, well, yeah, that's what I mean. I think it would be better if people did this, but not some draconian force thing. I have no interest in that. And we've got, so while the program is going on, you might not know this, but we have an Instagram stream, and the Facebook stream is the one where most people are on. And the program is also available on Rumble and YouTube. And I would like to expand the Rumble thing. Rumble it's a very, very positive. It's very, very positive thing. So there's chats going back and forth in some of these things, and I'm getting hit with. Go ahead and power that off. We don't want to hear this anymore. But yeah, they're big problems. And they were willing to destroy your family, steal your business, ruin your lives. I mean, in education, just in our state, you're trying to learn how to speak, and your teacher has to wear a mask, so you can't see how he or she forms her words with her mouth. So we lost maybe 2.5, 3 years of education in South Carolina, just because, and we were good. We did better than many states. But it still cost us years and years of education. And that's something that's going to plague us, because those kids that are behind, how are they going to catch up? That is a good question. And thank God, and I mean this, thank God for Texas. Thank God for Florida. Thank God for Mississippi. And not for the normal reasons, but all those great states ended the lockdowns. They opened back up. And if they hadn't done it, if Governor DeSantis hadn't done it, I don't know who the Mississippi governor is. And I'll think of Governor Abbott of the great state of Texas. If they hadn't done it, the rest of the country would have been locked down for at least another year because we'd have nothing to compare to. Those same people, of course, not with the Trump administration, but those same bureaucratic-minded folks, those people are still running the bureaucracy of the United States of America. And so people that wouldn't allow you to see your grandma, I just had in the first hour, we talked about Dr. Al-Assad, a wonderful, wonderful, one of the greatest people I've ever met. I think like passed away recently. And, what a gut check and body blow that was. And I mean, I used him as a competent. I asked important questions about that, about things. He was always a great giver of advice, and he just knew 1,000 times more than any other person that you would expect to be. Wonderful person, but they broke that too. Oh, well, only one person, one family member can visit your family member who's having heart surgery or something. Only one, and only once. So if it's you and you're a guy, or if you're a woman and your wife wants to come see you, if she sees you once and then leaves, she can't come back. Them's the rules. So those people were willing to really destroy. Are totally willing to destroy your life and your connections. Funerals are gone. Nobody does funerals anymore because of COVID. Even Elizabeth, Elizabeth Regina II, when her husband passed away, one of her sons moved his seat to sit next to her and got chided by the people in the attendance of Prince Philip's funeral. So how much misery, how much destruction, how much education loss, and let's be honest. I'll tell you another thing. So even as weird as I am on education, I have lots of education friends and principals and stuff also. So one of these things, and this is something that that you know but you don't know. So the government school is the contact point for lots and lots of social services. And that can be horrible stuff where there's sexual abuse and violence and other things involved. That can be, hey, this family is in crisis. They're doing the best they can, but they need to interface with social services and get a break, maybe get too proud to be on food stamps or whatever, but they're not getting enough calories in their house, all those things. The government school is the first point of contact for a lot of those things. But we sent people home for a year. Now, if they were in an abusive situation, we just locked them in a house with their abusers. And I think it was something like 10,000 kids in South Carolina who were sent home, never had any more contact with a school. They became lost children. We don't know what happened. And so these are real things. These are real problems that we could have done better with, but we elected not to do that part. It's craziness. And, the mask was more, oh, well, you could just use a mask made out of a t-shirt. Okay. Because it's a compliance exercise. It was never supported by the science, was never supported by any of these things. And we're going to have her on, try to get her name just passed out of my brain. Her friend, Kristen, who was, she was an industrial hygienist. And so if you are dealing with difficult stuff, poisonous stuff, virology stuff, you have to take care. And she's one of the people that help companies outline procedures and demonstrate to the workers how to correctly don and doff their protective equipment. 803-799-8255. We'll be right back after this.
WQXL Columbia, W264DF.
From the Bart Fireside Studio, the solution for keeping you warm this winter.
This is 107 The Point.
With SRN News, I'm Mary Rose. President Trump says Ukraine and Russia are closer than ever before to a peace deal, but he acknowledges that negotiations could still break down and leave the war dragging on for years. The president spoke Sunday as he hosted Ukrainian President Zelensky at his Florida resort. Earlier, the president had what he described as an excellent 2.5-hour phone conversation with Russian President Putin. The president insisted he believed Putin still wants peace, even as Russia launched another round of attacks on Ukraine while Zelensky flew to the U.S. Officials say 2 helicopters have crashed midair in southern New Jersey today, killing one person and leaving another critically injured. Hamilton Police Chief Kevin Friel said rescuers responded to a report of an aviation crash at 11:25 this morning. He said the FAA and NTSB will be investigating. This is SRN News.
People hear me talking about Broker Solar and how much I like Ken and his team. They ask, hey, can I really trust this guy, Kev? Let me tell you 2 things. Number 1, Ken and Broker Solar are legit. I've known Ken's family for 20 plus years. Seriously, these are local, ethical people. They're not going anywhere, and they do things the right way. Number 2, Broker Solar is so different than these stereotypes we've heard about in the solar industry. There's no signs on the yard making stupid promises they can't keep. There's no door knockers trying to pressure you at your own door. Ken and Broker Solar will tell you the truth, what it'll cost and how your solar power investment will pay off. See, we can't pick our power companies. Broker Solar gives you a chance to take some control over your power bill, and I like that. So should you. Online, it's brokersolar.com, and seriously, reach out to Ken and these folks. It could really make a difference in your quality of life. Brokersolar.com, empowering you so you're not powerless.
Just pondering, we're going to go ahead and pull this down. Having college radio flashbacks from the great WSBF FM Clemson. We'll go right to the phone. Hey, caller, how are you?
Dr. Gene, I had to call you back.
Well, good. I'm there, Gino.
When I finished my Escarole, white bean, and chunks of grilled chicken breast.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Now, here somebody in the chat asked a question, and they said, ask Gino if he calls it sauce or gravy.
Oh, this is such okay. It's a silly question because gravy is very kind of American stuff. And also we say gravy, which is ragu, which is meat, any kind of meat in the sauce.
Uh-huh.
But the main word is sauce.
All right. Well, that makes me feel a little bit more confident that I have an idea. In all my mobster flicks, that's the only where that comes up.
Now, I remember one time I met my wife early in the years ago, and she said they would go Olive Garden. So the lady said my face. She told me, she gave me the schedule, blah, 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 and red marinara sauce. And I said, excuse me, does that marinara sauce come in any other color? She left and she never came back. My point is this. There are many kinds of sauces, okay? And please, this is one lesson between you and I. The word marinara does not mean cover every sauce. Marinara means plum tomatoes, sauteed garlic, olive oil, and a few spices, mainly red pepper flakes.
Oh wow! I did not know that. I did not know that. No, I'm serious. I've been on the planet for 50-something years. But never hot. I've never heard it hot. Never in my life have I heard it hot.
Yeah, it's the regular sauce is the one with the tomato. When you put the stuff, you cook the sauce, and then you ground it, so it comes out all smooth and no pieces, no chunks. Marinara sauce has those chunks of plum tomatoes, no big ones. We use a real good brand plum tomatoes. It only takes 10 minutes to cook. When you get someone says, I make marinara, my grandma made marinara, and it took us 3 hours to cook, and I'm thinking, stupid. That is not marinara. Change the word, okay?
Okay, well now I've got a thing. Now I got a thing to pay attention to.
I mean, for example, pesto. What's pesto? It's green sauce, or like I say in Spanish, salsa verde. Anyway, what was I going to say? I forgot. Oh, by the way, why is it that we say the word grande when it comes to a coffee at Starbucks, but when we mention the river, which means the Rio River in Texas, people say Rio Grande. It's the same word.
Right. Well, that's that's an American excellence word. It's like the Gulf of America. We pronounce these words like Americans, and if you don't like it, you can speak German.
I mean,
you could go back.
Yeah. But the thing is that the word grande, it's grande when it's the river or the size of the cup or somebody was giant, they call him the grande. But it's always grande. It doesn't change whether you're from Texas or anybody else. Anyway, one word that I want to correct you on, not you, but people in general. The word panini. When you say I have a panini, the word panini is plural. I never said I would have a panini, 3 sandwiches. The word
So you
is
have
panino.
Panino is
it's
one?
all ending. It's singular. It's singular.
But panini is multiples.
Right, more than one, right.
Well, maybe that's wishful thinking. Everybody that wants to eat a panino really wants there to be panini on the grill because there'll be more food opportunities.
Yeah, panini. And also, I could say words like latte. It's not latte. There's no accent. By the way, my last name has got an accent, so I know that. Okay. It's not latte. It's latte. That's it. There's no other changes. That's it. But the main thing about marinara sauce is something which, when I hear somebody say that, yeah, marinara sauce will take 3 hours. Marinara sauce, the real thing, takes maybe 15 minutes at the most. No matter whether you're making 3 cans, 4 cans. And it's one of my favorite sauces anyway. But no gravy. Gravy goes back to besides the brown stuff, goes back to the old Italian Americans of the Bronx, I think. But I was never there, so I don't.
Well, I can't wait to get back to New York City. I've got places to go and food to eat.
Yeah, the reason why I called, I forgot. When it comes to teaching, no, I forget that word. Something more serious. I hear that Trump first spoke with Putin. And then he spoke with the guy in charge of Ukraine, correct?
Yeah, the little tyrant in Mar-a-Lago. So the tiny tyrant is in Florida.
You are a guy in technology. Your wife in technology and stuff like that. Why can't they have a system where all 3 of them can talk face to face or mano a mano or through the cameras instead of getting, okay, me and you would talk, and then me and him would talk, and then you and the other guy talk. Why can't it be simultaneously face to face?
Well,
That's when you see
well, the
what
real,
people,
the real,
what really,
the
that,
real, the real
that, excuse me,
reason.
that way I get to see what you're really saying about me and what I'm really saying about you, correct?
Well, that's that this becomes Senator Johnson before he was president. He was a buttonholer, and you can't grab somebody by their collar and lift them off the ground and say, "You're going to stop this. We're going to fix this. We're going to leave this room together, and you're going to agree to everything we've talked about." You can't do that on a three-way call, but you can do it when the guy's in person.
Well, there is a technology that is for many years where you can talk just like a phone, three-way phone, three-way video, three-way video, right?
Right.
And you can listen and watch the smirk when somebody's saying the truth or making fun of you, just in that. You can tell by the facial expression and what kind of words they use by the time you wait for the translator, of course.
Well, one of the reasons we have to build this ballroom is the same reason there's the colonnade at the Vatican. And that's how you get to the Vatican. If you're a diplomat or a VIP person, on one of the legs of the colonnade, you are driven in and you can feel the columns squeezing you. You can feel the power of one of the first churches.
Dr. James, that's what lobbyists do. Talk one-to-one. I promise you this, you promise me that. Then I took somebody else. I promise the same thing or whatever. That nobody really talks face to face. Nobody has the guts to talk face to face, and that includes politicians on different parts on television. One network only talks people one party. The other network only talks people the other party. Why can't these people talk face to face on the same table?
Well, those people are, the left. There's this new thing, and it started with Carrie Lake when she was running for governor and then Senate of the great state of Arizona, where she was doing these remote things. Well, she set up a camera and an audio recorder, and she recorded her own stuff. So when they cut up her answer, when they tried to deceive the people about her, she published the whole interview. Trump has done that a couple times. And so there's a way that about that. But when you're dealing with something that is as important as the future of a nation state, whether it survives or not, and millions of people have already been run through the meat grinder, deceased and destroyed, all the misery and stuff, you need to be in the room with that person to get them to do what they need to do. They need to understand.
You mean Carrie Lake, the nice looking lady with short hair?
Yes.
Well, I think she relied too much on her looks. By the way, I want to ask you a question. You have lots of kids, like more than 3, right?
Right, 4.
Do they go to regular school?
I homeschooled for 7 years, and we paid off.
Great.
And then I paid off our mortgage. Wait. I paid off our mortgage, or we paid off our mortgage, a 30-year mortgage in 13 years, largely because of Dave Ramsey philosophy. And then once we did that, every dollar that came into the house was something that we could spend, and we put the kids in private school.
No. My point wasn't monetary. My point was that as time goes by, am I wrong to think that parents or kids in regular schools, public schools, have less say as the years go by?
Oh, yeah.
And how does it feel? How does it feel? You got 2, 3 kids in school, and some teacher who may be there this year and not next year, or just got the job and maybe a part-timer, has to make decisions for your kids' sex and other things.
Well, that's no place for that type of stuff in the schools. It doesn't work. They don't have any training to do it. That's like you watch these DUI things, and the whole time I see it on YouTube and things. And the whole time I'm going, what qualifies this guy on the side of the road to make a medical diagnosis that somebody's drunk? What? Oh, well, I took a class. I went to Kentucky for 1 week for a school. Okay, is that enough to, is that enough to have enough knowledge to ruin somebody's life? Maybe not.
I don't know. I mean, as a taxpayer that would pay a lot more tax than ever before, I think it is cool, and you have just about no say when it comes to your child, minor child less than 10 years old, to make decisions for a sex or its sex or its
Right, they just don't have they don't have the power to do it. They don't have the power to do it. They don't have the legitimacy to do it. All right, Gino, I'm going to let you go, and we're going to.
Bye-bye.
All right,
Bye-bye.
bye. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Nobody plans for a plumbing problem. They come unannounced and usually at a very inconvenient time. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning is your trusted ally. They recognize just how vulnerable a customer is at this time, and they want to help. They have well-trained plumbers who are there to make a difference when you need it most. I've experienced this. They're knowledgeable about their craft. They're not coming to your house to pitch new products. If something is broken, they'll give you a price to fix it if it's possible, or a price to replace it if necessary. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning is also locally owned and operated, or I simply wouldn't endorse them. Josh and his team prioritize customer service above everything else. They handle every issue with care and precision. Those are not just words. I've had Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning out to my home. They back up those words with their actions. If you have a crisis, get some peace of mind. Online, you find them at franklinplumbing.sc.com, or you call 799-2222. That's 799-2222. I'm absolutely positive they will make whatever is wrong right again. Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning.
Hey, all, this is Ted from Flight Deck Restaurant. We'd like to invite you and your family to dine with us. We have a great menu that's sure to please your whole family. We have fresh cooked burgers, big juicy wings, blue plate menu featuring country cooking, oven-baked hoagies, fresh crisp salads, authentic Greek food like gyros, souvlaki, and baklava. We also carry 20 different premium cheesecakes and pies. Flight Deck Restaurant also has an arcade with 30 different games like Star Wars, Batman, Skee Ball, Bass Wheel, Pac-Man, Galaga, and so much more. Flight Deck, your favorite family restaurant. Thanks, y'all, and God bless.
What's better than getting the best Wagyu and Hereford beef anywhere in these parts and getting it delivered to your door? How about knowing you're still supporting local farmers in Saluda over at H&J Cattle, where tradition meets quality? Visit HandJCattle.com. Place your order for $50 or more, get free delivery in Richland or Lexington County. Plus, Point listeners get 10% off your order. Enter keyword The Point as one word for your discount. HandJCattle.com.
All right, so we're coming back with Todd Snyder, and we're going right to the phones and saying, "Hey, caller, how are you?"
Dr. G.
Hey, what's going on there, Professor David de los Ciencias? All right, I got a problem, David. I got a problem. I'm gonna have you we're getting a breakup with the phone. If you could just hang up and call right back, we'll get you right back on. All right. So see you in a moment, David. Yeah, sometimes you just got to get a different wire off the switch to make these things work. And I'm gonna make a guess that that's him. And yeah, let's take a second. Thing there. And now we have David back.
Hey, Dr. G.
Oh, much better. No clipping, no
Yeah, Gino answered as I thought he would, because I don't think it's South Philly, like my granny, who would have given the same answer. But I know people from South Philly that would say no matter what gravy, but that's a regional thing. So just kind of curious how he would answer.
But did you know marinara had red pepper and crushed red pepper in it?
I do, yeah.
I didn't. I had no idea.
Well, I know my granny made it that way. But
okay, because she's correct.
Yeah, she would take tomatoes, little honey plum or Roma, something little tomatoes, and olive oil and garlic, and kind of simmer that on the stove with some basil leaves, and then at the end she would remove the basil leaves and put all that in like a little, I would say a blender, but something to kind of puree a little bit and then have it first off.
Okay.
I guess she wouldn't say gravy, but yeah, I was kind of curious. On the COVID thing, I'll never forget this. Um, at two different points in time, and I do forget which one came first, but the county of occupied Richland County put in a face mask ordinance, and then shortly thereafter, the two occupied school districts did the same thing, and they were like, "Oh, this is going to reduce numbers. This is gonna save lives," and all this nonsense and everything. And I heard people, parroting that on other radio shows in the area and everything. Oh yeah, that's what we need to do to save lives. And Gene, I plotted out the COVID numbers through many, many months, and I presented it at a county council meeting, and I knew I was fighting this battle. I just wanted to show them that I'm not stupid. There's people out there that are on them. It wouldn't matter what I showed them. I could show them that wearing a mask makes you 10 times more likely to catch COVID. They wouldn't care because they had an agenda.
Yeah.
But I showed them the numbers over time, and I said, okay, now which one? Where is the point where the first mask ordinance went in? Where's the second one? You can't find it because there was no like dramatic change in numbers. Then I showed them the numbers with two different mask ordinances, and I said, see where they're at. You would have ever known where they're at because nothing dramatic happened when you put these in. It was all virtue signaling.
Yeah.
They had an agenda they were going to do. They didn't care.
No, they were told by their handlers, this is what we got to do to loosen up the purse strings. This is what we got to do to make ourselves important. Oh, we're operating under emergency things, so we can spend all kinds of money that we never could do under a normal situation. Once the government weasels learn that emergency means they get to spend, we'll go from emergency to emergency for the rest of our lives.
Well, my twins lost from March through the end of the school year, kindergarten, final year, and they lost a great deal of first grade. And those are probably two of the most crucial years you can have for education. And they lost them. And I've got one that probably will never fully recover, never will 100% recover. I mean, if I could put her in an alternate reality where none of this happened, you'd see a difference in it for sure. She's made come back, but she'll never be where she could have been without all this nonsense. And it was people that didn't have a skin in the game that were saying, yeah, get your kids out of school. These people didn't have, a vested interest in kids being in school. And I would always point out there's a wealth gap between the have and have not. And something like this is just going to widen that gap because the have are going to be able to bounce back a lot.
Right.
Everybody's money away. And the people who built wealth are going to build wealth again. The people who never had it won't build it. All you're doing is spreading the wealth gap. And again, Chief, they didn't care.
Nope.
It doesn't matter to them how the people that vote for them fare in life. All they care about is, are we going to con them into voting for us again and again and again? And that's all they care about. It was just the biggest grift there ever was. And now we're seeing it again with all the grift from the money and everything. The COVID era subsidy for Obamacare that was supposed to be just temporary. Well, what did Reagan say about a government program?
There's nothing more closer to immortality than a federal program with an expiration date.
Yeah, and like I told you before, my first call, the state of Pennsylvania had a 60% proficiency in reading and math, and again, that's the bare minimum. And the fact there are people out there that won't take the money that will help their children, I just can't understand it. I've done everything I can to help my daughters bounce back from everything, whatever they need. I've got the tutoring, whatever they need, whatever help they need. As a parent, that's your goal. That's your job.
Yeah.
Is to make sure your children have the best education. How could you not want the best one possible? No matter who's proposing, no matter who's going to get so-called credit.
Well, just like the people saying Trump says Tylenol is bad for pregnant women. Here I am sucking back the Tylenol to prove that he's wrong. David, I got to run. I got one more person I need to get before the end of the show. And I'll say, hey, caller, how are you?
Hello, Gene.
Hey, what's going on there, Andy?
Oh, no, just hanging out with you. Well, I'll put it to you this way. Gino came across the ocean on the boat.
He wants to call it soft. I go with soft.
Uh-huh. He is a pro.
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, you've never tasted those calzones and pizzas, and you don't know what's going on.
Well, here's a question, Andy. How can I make that happen? Because I have had a pastry made by him, and that was amazing.
You got to ask him in the next get together. They'll bring you calzone. You know, he used to work at Morrow's on Main Street.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. I knew he was a
I think he's the one
restaurateur.
who brought calzones to Morrow's on Main Street. Probably in the day.
Wow.
Oh, what do you think about what Christmas doing with the RSV?
Goodness, that respiratory syncytial virus is a big deal, and it's highly contagious. But I'm not really sure what they're doing. What are they doing?
Well, anybody under 15 years old is starting Tuesday. Wow.
So on the visitor side or on the treatment side?
Yeah, on the visitor side. On the visitor side.
Well, I hope
But anybody under 15.
Well, I hope they have made that decision with lots of research and due diligence. I'm just not sure the metrics that make it that smart or stupid.
They're suggesting that people wear masks.
But they also know the masks don't do anything for a virus.
I'm just telling you.
No, I mean that's so.
I'm just being a parrot.
Well, okay. Well, that's okay. That's okay. But imagine, if you will, Andy, imagine that you're going to an accountant, a CPA, dealing with your stuff or one of your parents' things, and they say, they tell you something that you know is a total fraud. Do you stick with that accountant?
Well, I'm with him.
I know. That's why I asked the question.
You know, if I'm going to hand out fraud, I hope that anyone.
So you're yeah, when you're a professional and you're in charge of big things, I mean, gosh, as an accountant, you're in charge of the biggest thing in somebody's life. And even if you're a real estate agent, you know, a real estate agent has probably of all the professions the greatest amount of power with the least amount of demands. Um, you know, it's a crazy, and a bad real estate agent can mess up everything. And thank God in my two big real estate transactions, I had rock star real estate agents.
Well, you know, bigger than the real estate agent.
Yeah, yeah. And I even did.
I know a friend of mine who bought a house up in Liberty.
Uh-huh.
Her mother did. They found all kinds of holes, all kinds of problems.
So much, and I hope that this year is the best one yet. I'll catch y'all on the flip side.
Lots of plumbing companies out there. Few are truly local. Time to discover the difference with Franklin Plumbing and Drain Clean. See, when I faced plumbing woes at the Cohen home, Josh and his dedicated team, well, they were my go-to solution. They make a commitment to exceptional service. They arrived on time, clearly detailed all the cost and procedures, and efficiently handled all my repairs without any surprises. These days, how often do we complain about a lack of customer service out there? With Franklin Plumbing and Drain Cleaning, these folks are professional. They're courteous. They're skilled at what they do, and they've earned my trust and they've earned my recommendation to you. From urgent repairs